Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sesco and Emsworth Community Scale Model Club TV. I have got people waiting in the wings. I'm just going to pop my banner across there while I am going to chat to you for first sort of 2 or 3 minutes. Leave your comments like you ordinarily do. I've got some great characters on tonight, and we've got the topic of conversation is going to be obviously saying hello to you guys. That's going to be first for all the people who are coming on. Then I'm going to introduce, then we're going to talk about the club because it's been club day today. We're going to do that. I'm just looking for my banner. And then once we've finished with talking about club, chatting with you guys as we do, then we're going to talk about... where's my ticket? There it is. I'm just going to show that. Then we're going to talk about my newfound love, which is armour. Can you believe it? I have actually been shopping today down to the model workshop. I had to nip down for some AK thinner. I tried my usual outlet. Unfortunately, he's out of it, and I was desperate for it, so I did have to go. So I've been down there today, and ironically, when I walked in, said hello to the guys, said hello to Andy because Jamie weren't in today, and did not look at one model aircraft kit. How absolutely nuts is that? Absolutely nuts. So as your comments are coming in, thank you very much. So first of all, my co-host this evening, I am waiting for a young chap called Paul. I'm hoping that he can make it on. In fact, I've got 2 Pauls coming on tonight. Paul Patton, I'm hoping that can get on. I have got 2 windows on my phone, Paul, so if you are watching, mate, and you're struggling to get on, just drop me a DM, mate, on Facebook, because I can see them coming in at the bottom. So first of all, we've got Rue and Jean joining me tonight. Good evening, Rue and Jean.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Back again.
Back again.
Looking forward to the topic tonight because it's something I don't really know a lot about. I've only built one of the air-fixed small tank. I haven't had to go anything much bigger, so it'd be interesting. I think we're going to hit some nails on the head tonight, Paul.
Super duper. To help us along with that, we have got Mr. Craigie Stinson. I can see Paul's joining in the wings. Bear with me, Paul. Craigie, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Fantastic, mate. Fantastic. Also waiting in the wings, we've got, in a quiet environment this evening, boys and girls, Mr. Mark Bridge.
You, Bridgie.
Good evening to you, sir. Thanks for joining me on the stream this evening. And then last but definitely not least, for now, we've got our absolute, well, I mean, what can we say about this guy? We all know what we think about him. And I love the guy to bits on a personal stream, Mr. Paul Patton.
Yeah.
Paul, let's get you on there into the stream.
All right, everyone. Now, that just shows you what he's like. He's at 90 degrees to everybody else. There we go, mate. The great Paul comes up immediately. All right, then, Paul. Nice to see you, Paul.
Hey, how are we going?
All right, mate. All right, Paul.
Mate. Evening, Paul. So Paul, thanks for joining us on live stream. Now, live stream on YouTube is slightly different to TV, mate. I have got a roll up at the ready. I've got a beer outside of me, and I'm waiting for 2 hookers to come in because we're not regulated like ITV. So feel free to pull your boots.
Yeah, I'm coming round to yours, mate. No mind that.
Cool beans. Right, let's go through. We've got some people who are watching tonight. So let me just have a look and see if I can do this. So we've got ADP, Evening Mark, and all in chat.
Evening.
Good evening, AD. And we've also got our very own Mr. Dave Housecroft.
Hey up, Elsie.
Evening, Dave.
Cool.
Evening, Dave.
It was nice to see Dave today, by the way.
Yeah, I went and picked him up.
Yeah.
And I will talk about that in a bit, actually. Hobby Time says hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
Evening.
And Chris at Rally Car Miniatures, evening all.
Evening.
Evening.
Chris, can you catch up with me on Messenger tonight, tomorrow, mate, regarding our reservation, if you wouldn't mind? I know you know what I'm talking about, obviously. Well, hopefully. We've got, now then, look at this. We've got Gray's Models, who says, have I posted that one? I have, who says, hi, mate, had a great day today. Thanks for having me on board. So I introduced Graham down at Club, didn't I? Came all the way from Cleethorpes.
Yeah, top man.
And absolutely superb. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Lovely guy. Okay. And that's all we've got in the chat tonight. So, so far, actually. So far. We know we've got Paul on, Plastic Monkey from Ice Queen 7. Sue's fella, good evening to Paul.
Evening, Paul.
Super duper super. Where's my singing on? So, roll call today. We had, let me just have a look at this. Where's my pen? So, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. The official total is 26 people in today.
Is that equaling the record or is that beating it?
Good shout. Let me just have, do you know what? I'll tell you what, Andy, we have to go back. So I think we have to go back to day one, you know, which was in the Lawson hut. In the Lawson hut this year. Why have we got, yeah, there, look, January. We had, how many? 20, 26 today.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No, we had more than that, didn't we? Because I can remember doing the video for that.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. I can remember doing the video for that, and it was 30 odd.
Was it 30 odd? I thought we were getting close to it though.
Yeah, it was 30 odd. Where's Paul gone? Has Paul dropped off?
It looks like it, yeah.
Like he's gone.
Paul's dropped off. He'll be back, I'm sure. Let's just have a look here. Let's put a few more comments up then. So, evening from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Good evening. What a great place to be. Been twice. I'd love to go again. Brilliant. Nice to hear from you, pal.
Happy days. Paul says, just popped in to say hi to everyone and leave a thumbs up. Cheers. Thanks a lot for that, Paul. Really appreciate that. Hobby time. So we're all saying good evening to each other. Andy says, evening from, where's that from? Deepest, darkest Derbyshire.
Derbyshire.
Okay.
Hey up, Andy.
And let me just have a look here. Oh, hang on. Let me just invite. I am going to just invite. I'm going to invite. Let me just copy this link and send that to Mr. Lid. Ange, Paul, Andy, Craigie. Where is? There he is. And I can click on that and I can send that and fire that off to him. That's your link coming through, that Marky Mark. So Let's have a look. You guys are still chatting with each other. Richie Lamb, good evening, Mark, and a quick visit in to leave a thumbs up. Superb. Thank you very much for that, matey. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Paul Patton says, I've lost you. Let me in.
That bloke makes me laugh. All
He's
that
a
talent and he
superstar.
can't use a phone. Clear
I know,
me.
mate. So I'm just going to type a message back to Paul. Paul, in fact, no. I'm going to click the link, obviously. Clunk, it's put Clunk the link. I do apologise for. We always have technical difficulties, don't we? We always have. Who's this? Oh, we've got Marky Mark. Good evening, Mark.
Am I on? I'm on.
Yes, you certainly are. You certainly are.
Technology, marvellous. Hi, guys.
3 now.
So we've got 3 marks on.
Oh, great.
That's
Oh
good
my
bit fun,
God.
Mark, isn't it?
That could get interesting later on with our conversation, saying Mark, and all 3 of you answer all at once. So
Well,
I think
my
it might
name's
be
underneath.
Bridget Little and Sir.
Sir, Mark.
I'm just going to copy
It's
this
hard
link
about
again
chocolate
for
biscuits. It's
Paul.
hard about ginger nut.
I beg your pardon?
Now, don't talk to Gina like that. She used to be a proper ginger nut. Now she's a slightly grey ginger nut.
Shut it.
Salmon and
Yes,
Cox.
Yeah, Gene, then. Shut it.
You know I'm not like that. At all. Pardon?
What are you chomping, Bridgie?
He's eating his tea by the looks of it.
He's eating something. I've lost him.
Right. Dessert. Rice
It's
pudding.
what? Rice pudding.
Rice pudding.
With
Rice
jam in?
pudding.
You put
No.
any jam in it?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
it's really
Don't have
nice
jam in
with
rice pud.
Mintero.
It's that good, it sticks to the spoon upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
oh, that's the way to do it. The way Grandma used to do it. It don't stick, it's no good. Have we found Paul yet?
I've resent him the link, Rue, and he will be coming back on. So,
Super.
super duper. So, House's comment there, cracking little tank from Logan this morning. Why didn't I see that?
I didn't say that either.
You did. You photographed it.
Did I?
Did I? Oh,
Yeah,
of course I did. Bloody hell, yeah, of course I did. So I took 99 photos this morning down at club. I've edited them all and I have put them onto the Facebook group. After we've gone live tonight, what I'm actually going to do is make a little video montage. I always say this with a little bit of music, but I'm not going to use music. Housey knows why I don't use music, because it's an absolute landmine.
You haven't taken off.
Yeah. What you do is, when you're a content creator on YouTube, if you add music to your videos, you get a strike, because YouTube don't recognize half the bloody music, even though you're allowed to use it, and they put a copyright strike against you.
You know, I'm sure you were going to say, I'm going to use house music then. And I thought,
Yeah.
no.
Absolutely. So, roll call today. Obviously, I will there, and want it nice to see Chris Barlow back down at club.
Aye, what are you?
Been a while.
Nice to see him.
Definitely, and a top modeler is our Chris. Mr. Bridge turning up as per. So, Mark, I did send you a message earlier on. I have actually been up to your end, but I just didn't have time, and I will explain that a little bit later on. Andy Fisher came in today. Always nice to see Andy.
It makes me
Let
laugh,
me
that
just have a
lad.
look.
He's a really funny bloke, is Chris, Andy.
He's a top lad, is Andy.
Really
And
is.
Mr. Alistair Glennie popped in as well with his lad Sam. Nice to see. Alistair, if you're watching, mate, that's great. And your Sam is literally, well, is he taller than you? I think he is. Trev popped in. Trevor's done me my exhaust for my F4. Unfortunately, not quite big enough, but he is going to fix that. I have spoken to Trev tonight and said, "Are you coming on to live stream, mate?" And he's literally stood in a pub with a beer in his hand going, "I don't think so." Davy House, as I've mentioned, I had the pleasure of going and picking Dave up this morning because I did not want Dave to miss first club down at the new place.
Yeah, nice to see him. Glad he's feeling
Always
better.
nice to see. He is, mate. Yes, and Andy's ankle is getting a lot better as well, which is always nice. Paul's back with us. Is Paul?
He's back.
Paul is there.
I'm back,
Paul
man.
is
That
there.
took time. I were only trying to make it so I weren't perpendicular to the rest of you, but not my strong point.
Listen, all the people that you can see on screen, Paul. This is none of our strong points, mate. We did absolutely zero research on it. We just dove straight in, and we hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, I've never done this before, so yeah, I'm not touching it now. I'm just leaving it there. I've literally, I've got my phone wedged up against some Gorilla Glue, and yeah.
We're happy with that, mate.
Other glue brands are available.
Yeah, well said, Mark. Other vans are available
Yeah.
in the
So
studio.
carrying on, Bill. We saw Bill this morning.
Yeah,
Tried Nicky McGregor.
it's always a pleasure to see Bill. Always.
Always looking as
Yeah.
sprightly as ever. Ange and Mark brought some fantastic builds in, I've got to say, this morning.
Cracking jobs, mate. Absolutely belters. Absolute belters, then, mate.
Great display from everyone today, wasn't it?
That 15 was lovely.
Jeannie Jean.
Yes.
We had Jean's company this morning, and Tim Nichols popped in as well with Padre.
Yeah, we're nice to see them both. I haven't seen Tim or Padre for a while. So it was nice to see him catch up with them too.
Nice one. We had some geezer, Andy Norfolk in.
Yeah, strange bloke, but surprisingly handsome.
I found him on the street market doing somebody.
Found him in car park and dragged him in. Mr. Paul Patton.
Om nom shibai, om nom shibai, om nom shibai.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
That's Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, isn't it?
He's even got that bloody like awe around him, hasn't he? You know, that bloody halo of light around him.
He has, mate.
Talented little git, you.
Shara popped in, and it was nice to give Shara his bonus ball winnings.
Oh, did
Very
you?
well.
Well, he forgot his mates, and I did say not forget your mates. He says, "Who are you?" Cheeky twat.
Yeah, no, I forgot his.
How much was it this month, Mark?
I can mention it actually. So, and I am going to chat about it in general. So, obviously, down at club, you five guys know we run a bonus ball, and for anybody that's part of a club, you don't need to go through national lottery syndicates or anything like that. We basically have a sheet of paper with a load of boxes on it, and we charge. How much do we charge a ball? Is it £2 a ball?
Two quid.
£2.
We charge £2 a ball down at club, and what we do is we put 80% of the winnings to the winner and 20% to the club. So if all 59 balls sell at £2 a piece, that's £118. And we use the National Lottery bonus ball that's drawn on the last Saturday of the month. So if all 59 balls sell, it usually means that the winner comes out with roughly 80 quid, and the club takes the rest, obviously, and it comes into club funds. So Shara won for July £76.
Good on him.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very
And-
nice.
But the beauty of it is sometimes not all the balls sell in a particular month, so we roll it over, don't we, into the second month?
Yeah.
And once that jackpot starts building up like it did, let me just get so in June, nobody
Lewis
bought
won.
the winning number. And in July, what that does to everybody is like, oh, so nobody's won it in June. I will have 3 or 4 bonus balls in July. And in July, all the numbers sold. And what that means is that you get the pot, you get the full pot from June, from the previous month, and you get the full pot from July. Now, it turned out that in July, young Lewis won it, and his jackpot prize was 174 quid.
Bless him. I bet all that went on tanks and all.
Yeah, I was going to say same.
We're Paul.
Yeah.
I bet it's in Paul's pocket now, that.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that it's gone to his Telford savings.
That's
Gone to
it.
his
Bless
Telford
him.
savings.
Oh,
Now
that's
then, there's a young man with an old head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
no.
I'm impressed with that, Lewis. Good on you, pal.
No.
What do you mean, no? What do you mean, no?
That what Lewis sending me a message saying, can you put £10 in this, £20 in this, £100 in this, £20 in this? And I actually told him a little white lie and said, actually, mate, I've already given it Ange. So Shara came in today and collected his winnings, which is great. Craig Easton's always a pleasure to me to see, and some great models as well. Doug Tuck, my right hand man that looks after the book and looks after my mental well-being.
It's failing miserably.
Yeah, I know. Simon popped in today. Did anybody say hello to Simon? Because I completely missed him.
Yep.
Yeah. He will in for a bit, but didn't say hello.
I sat with him and had a nice little chat.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Ange.
Right.
But it's supposed to have been retiring yesterday.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he got called out to work this afternoon.
Good.
All right. That's
Where's your head come from? I just wondered, her head just popped up and I thought, hello.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She must have been tying his shoelaces.
It's going to be a long night, isn't it?
Andy White popped in.
Could I just interject? Sorry that a couple of messages have rolled over while we've been chatting. Good evening,
Yes, sir.
Sully. Nice to see you. And hello,
Cheers,
Dan.
Mark.
How are you keeping, mate? Fellas and
Thanks a
whatever,
lot for that, mate.
just popped in. A quick visit to raise a digit.
Excellent.
Tidy.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping an eye on that, Mark. Mark Wilson painting, big busted ladies.
Boobies.
Boobies.
Boobies. We all
The
like
Paul and Madonna,
boobies.
there's a big booby by Van Club.
Derek popping in. Derek does make me chuckle, because he's ordered it. He said to me the other week, he said, can I order a shirt? I said, yeah, of course you can. So I've ordered him a club shirt, which that's pleasing for me personally, because I do like to see people down at Club merch. It's just one of them things. So Derek's ordered a shirt. Who else have we got? We've got Chris Smith. Chris popped in today, rocking the beard, the big beard. I wished I could grow my beard as chunky as Chris's, because it's mint. Neil
I'm not
Hendry,
saying anything.
don't
saying a word.
Neil Hendry, and then I've kept the best till last, Young Lewis. The reason that I've kept Young Lewis best till last is because I'm going to say roll on September. Does anybody know why?
Yeah.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, but what happens after his birthday?
It goes to Billy's school.
He starts paying subs.
He finds beer and girls and leaves us.
You mean
Mark's
we've
nailed
all
it.
lost
Mark-
beer and gills, Paul, and now that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's kind of, yeah, it's not far from truth, is it?
you're right, mate. I must admit, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Mark actually nailed it on the head there. Yeah, because of the Yorkshire man in me, yeah, Lewis starts paying subs.
Oh,
You can't, Mark. You can't help it, mate. It's your religion, an Orthodox Titas.
That's the one.
That's the reason they can afford to buy all them tanks. They're not paying.
Yeah, he
subs.
knows I'm joking.
Yeah,
He knows I'm
pay subs.
joking at that one.
I know, mate. Andy, I want to say again, thank you ever so much for getting us our coasters.
oh, no problem. I just thought it was a really cool thing to have. I thought
Where's
more had
mine?
gone. I thought more had gone with Mark and Ange and get them personalised. I mean, I didn't, but yeah, I think they turned out pretty well, and everybody seems to be happy with them.
See that,
Do you know
right?
what?
Yeah.
I've just been looking for mine, going, where's my chuffing coaster under my cup?
Ah, weirdo.
So yeah, thanks for getting them, mate.
No
Absolutely
worries.
superb.
As long as everybody's happy with them, that's all I'm bothered about.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, bang on, mate.
Yeah.
And then, excuse me, and then the last bit of good news before we move on. In fact, no, I'm going to save that one for a minute. So let me do omissions. Martin Beddoe, Craigie, tell us what's happened to Martin.
Poor Martin, he's fell out of his lorry and broke his ankle.
Has he?
Yeah,
Nice,
but
mate.
they were a bit too high for him.
Craigie, tell the people where he did it.
He did it at work the day before he meant to drive to Germany. So his poor old wife had to take the burden and drive to Germany for him.
What, to get him from Germany?
No, to go just before he went.
Oh, God.
It was his last day at work when he did it.
There's an holiday now in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Ian Clem, where's Clemmy been today?
Oh, yes, I was going to ask that question.
And
I missed him as
been to an
well.
air show.
Been to an air show.
Has he? Which one?
East Kirby.
Oh,
Steve
bloody
Kirby.
hell.
Yeah, they got cancelled.
It didn't, did it?
Well, there
Yeah.
were no flying.
Did it get
There were no
cancelled?
flying.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah, Angie saw a post because we're not far from there, like so. Angie saw a post and there were apologies for no flying display today, obviously due to rubbish weather.
Yeah, yeah, you can't blame them for it, can you? I mean, everybody's in the same situation. I mean, anybody that puts on an event like that, it's so reliant on weather. It must be a massive disappointment for all the work they've done in prepping, and then on day it's just a case that you can't go up, lads. What can they do? So, all the best for them, and I hope they get it reorganised.
Yeah, well,
If anybody, if any of the people who are watching were also supposed to go to that air show today, drop us a comment and tell us what's gone off there.
it did get it still happened, Mark. It didn't get cancelled. It was just the flights didn't go ahead. So, but at East Kirby, there's loads to look round. There's all stuff to look round. Do you know what I mean?
I'll put a little comment on there. Look,
Are they still running the Lancome taxi runs, or are they trying to renovate it now?
I honestly don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know because they've got that and the mosquito, aren't they? They're renovating.
Yeah, yeah. I thought I'd read somewhere that they were actually renovating the Lanc and stopped doing the taxi runs.
I don't
I
know,
went
mate.
about 2 years ago and they had
Was
the end of the wings off, but it was still running up and down
All right.
just without the wings on.
Yeah.
okay. Are we back on me?
Yes,
Yeah,
you.
Back on you.
Back to the studio.
Thank you very much. So, Dave Jackson, I always say him. Dave is the busiest. I don't want to use that term, unluckiest dude I know, so we'll leave that there. Fraser, I've not seen Fraser for a while, but we all know that he's had a lot on his plate. Martin Rad, where's Martin Rad been today?
No idea.
Don't know.
I haven't seen out posted.
Let me just have a look here, because Martin is usually. Do you know what? No, the figures do not lie. Martin's at 42%. He must be working.
It must have been working, yeah.
He must be working.
I've even known him turn up sort of last sort of half hour before now.
Yeah, Martin. Rob. I've seen one of Rob Smith. I've seen one of Rob's posts on Facebook. Is it his wedding anniversary?
Yeah.
Happy wedding anniversary, Rob.
Yeah, Rob's decided to take the missus out instead of coming to the club. What on earth is going off there, Robert?
Well, that's a bit of a poor decision in my point. He should have brought her to the club and set her to a sandwich and a cup of coffee. I thought that'd have been a nice romantic gesture.
Yeah.
Before I carry on,
to club and I'd have taken them out for him.
I can see somebody waiting in the wings there. Let's see if I can add him on. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I can because 1, 2, 3. Paul, I can see you in the wings, mate, and I know that you can hear me. And I am clicking add stream, but I am going to get this. I am full to capacity at the minute, son. And I'll tell you for why, because when I say add to stream, I do get a notification saying, if you want more people on, click your upgrade and get your wallet out.
And that's not happening.
So it's not happening at the minute because my wallet don't come out for nobody. So just sit in the wings there, mate, until let me just have a look. I'm going to bump off. Nobody at a minute because I'm only kidding. Back to register. Now then, why didn't I? Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. I've missed one off here.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
You just falling to bits, people.
9. It's all right. It's me. I've just missed a number off. And then the Connor that comes with his dad, Rob, obviously don't come unless his dad comes. And then the last one, Barry. Barry did not come today.
No, he had his brother over the weekend, so he had a family commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I want to say on record a massive thank you to Davy House because I had the email through the other day saying your club insurance is due. I talked to the admin about it and said, it's 110 quid a year, and do we really need it? And we're covered by the centres insurance, etc., etc. But when I spoke to Doug said yes, but hang on a minute. When we have the Cubs in, and Ange knows all about this, when we have the Cubs in, and if we have any more like today, so we've had an open day today, haven't we? Where members of the public have been able to come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're liable.
And to cover us on insurance, obviously we've had to renew our public liability insurance. But happy days, we're insured yet again for £15 million that we'll never ever use.
Wow.
It's one of them things where with public liability, mate, all you need is somebody to fall, trip, or whatever on a visit, and it's just nice to have that backup there.
Yeah.
So, it's a good call, that, mate. Good call.
And don't forget, I'm super clumsy, so I could go through £15 million, no problem.
Snap.
Yeah, well, that makes 2 of you. Jean's just totally agreed with you. I wouldn't fall because I think
so
you're
there's 30 million already.
Everything and blah, blah, blah.
The funny thing is,
15 million quid.
The funny thing is that obviously it's a shade over 100 quid. We have 20 meetings a year, so it works out literally at a £5 a meeting. A £5 a meeting, and we've had 26 people in today. So you dissolve that 5 into 26 people, and it's literally peanuts, isn't it? So it's worth it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well worth it, mate.
Mark, do you want to catch up on? Mark, do you want to catch up on the comments, mate?
I've missed a couple, but this one's just coming from hobby time. My son was there filming live for the Lank and the Mosquito. I'm presuming he means at East Kirkby.
Yeah, cool. At least
That's the only
we're
one
up.
that's the only one I can access.
Can we only, when we're doing chats on this, Mark, can we only see them as they pop up? Can we not see the full list?
So
No.
I can't,
yes,
because I'm
you
not the
can.
instigator.
What you have to do is you have to cheat on it, Mark. Obviously, as the host, I've got the comments down the right-hand side of my screen that you guys can't see. The way that you guys get round that, and me and Andy discussed it the other week, is you are live streaming on your phone or your tablet.
Yeah.
And then you can either watch simultaneously this live stream on YouTube, on another telly, on another phone, on another tablet, with the volume set at nothing, with the mute button on, so that we don't get crossover feedback, and then you can see the comments as well, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I'm doing tonight is I am clicking on when a new comment comes on the bottom of the run. I am clicking on it so that you guys can get time to look at it, read it, and obviously make comments on.
Elsie says that Martin probably went to Badsworth.
It'd be interesting to know how many actually did before realising.
Mate.
My glasses only see to here, so even though I can see that I've got a blue box that's got white stuff in it, and I know that that's text, but I can't read it. What does that say?
The Hobby Times put a good post up. It says Ghost Squadron 428 on YouTube filmed the runs, and he's just put a video up at the Petworth Hotel, as that where he's staying there, getting the B25 tax in for next year as well.
Wow!
So that's what's knowing.
Petwood Hotel was, if for those that didn't know, was the officers' mess for 617 for the Dams raid. I think it was for 617. It was 617's officers' mess and whatever for.
Mess, I think, mate,
yeah, I think for their entirety of when they were at Coningsby.
It's gotten full of dam busters, remember, Bill.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a fair visit down there.
Right. Got myself another
Derek Clark, good evening, guys. Evening, Derek.
Hey, Derek. I'm trying to get me YouTube up, but it's decided not to be playing.
Decided not to play. So
I'll leave that to play.
I like Orange. Where's your Orange, Mark?
She's sat at the side of here, mate, with a pocket in her hand.
Her head keeps popping up, Mark, and we don't know where it keeps popping up from. We've
been far away, put it that way.
Anne just put a comment on Evening All, even though she could go, hiya!
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 There you go.
Yeah, then again.
Hobby Time. Thanks for your comment there, mate. So, Mark, what are we on about here? What's going on?
But yes, that's correct with regards Petwood Hotel being 617's officers' mess.
Ah, right, cool. Happy days. Right, so the reason that I've specifically asked you guys to come on tonight is because I've put the book away. The topic of tonight's conversation is supposed to be all geared around my new embraced love, which is, Paul?
Because we're live, I'll keep it clean. Armour.
Thank you very much. I thought you were going to say me. No.
That's not the first thing that came into my head, trust me.
Thank God for that. Yeah, Armour. So I've asked Craigie to come on because Craig literally only builds Armour. I've asked Paul to come on because Paul is a superb modeler, period. End of. That's why he's our current champion down at club. I've asked Mark Bridge to come on because he's dabbled. I've asked Rue to come on because he wants to dabble, and I've asked Lid to come on in Armour because Lid doesn't know jack about Armour. So same as me. So in the hierarchy of who knows what about Armour, you've got the bottom end of the scale, which is me and Lid. and then Bridgio's Dabble, or me, Lyd and Rue, really. Marky up a little bit on the ladder, and Craig and Paul very much perched at the top. So, question for Craig and Paul. Us other guys, we build aircraft. Why should we keep trying, or why should we get into armour? And I put that to you two guys.
Do you want to go first, Paul?
Yeah, well, all right. Well, I think you should go for different stuff and get out of your comfort zone per se, whether it's armour or not. That's first thing. Just because you gain new skills, and it's always relevant to whatever you're doing next anyway. But armour, I think it's a lot more versatile than what you've been doing, because you've got from one end of the spectrum, nice and shiny on parade stuff to stuff that's had a good battering that's all gone rusty, and everything in between. So you'll learn a lot more weathering techniques, things like metal tracks where you get them, and because of weight they add a believable, realistic sag. Also, you don't paint them; you dip them in a photo etch solution, which is quite pleasing as well. It makes them go oxidized straight away.
What?
Say again, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
The tracks that you see on tanks that I've done, you construct them. They're made out of white metal, and you buy a photo etch solution. It's a bright blue colour. AK make it, and a number of other companies, and you basically scrub your tracks after you've made them up in acetone, and that degreases them. You let them dry off, and then you dip them in this solution, and literally before your eyes, in seconds, they oxidize. Quite a pleasing, realistic colour that tracks do naturally.
Really?
Yeah. So there you go. All things like that, and it's just other strings to your bow, innit?
Well, is that what they call burnishing solution?
Burnishing's usually for photo etch. It does the same thing. It's specifically for tracks. It says on bottle.
All right.
So what does it do to photo etch then, Paul?
Well, it does the same thing, but obviously it's a different chemical, because your photo etch is brass and the metal tracks are a white metal. So it needs a different chemical to start oxidization process, kind of thing.
I don't want to scare you, Paul, but I have just made you big.
Yeah, I wonder what that was. Yeah, so there you go. Things that you're not necessarily going to be aware of unless you dip your toe in a different, end to modelling spectrum, if you like, for want of a better phrase.
But is that only for the white metal ones then, Paul?
Yeah, it's for specifically for white metal tracks. Actually, I've just been having a conversation with Lewis about the tracks, because those kits he's got from me, the Dragon ones, are separate links, but they're not the annoying ones where you've got to cut them off at sprue and file them all down and everything. They actually come in a bag, all ready to clip together. But bless him, he's gone wading straight in and put all side panels on and everything, thinking it's same as rubber tracks, and you can't get them on now.
All right.
But I suppose I'm digressing there. But no, they don't. That solution only works on white metal.
Okay.
But another thing that I found when I got into armour is, for me, especially if it's something that's I've been in a battle, it's got battle damage and all the rest of it. It tends to look better than if you put it in a setting. It don't have to be complicated, but it's a base, a diorama sort of thing, and that then just happens. You just then spread out, and you learn all sorts of things. There's all sorts of products. I mean, I'm just making some 1/24 scale sleepers, crazy shit like this that I'd never do if I weren't, doing something completely different, like.
I have heard. I have heard. One of the things that I personally heard. What exactly that? When you build aircraft, and the guys will be able to sort of like back me up on this. I've got cabinets full of aircraft, and an aircraft will stand alone.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got a tank, an armour, piece of armour, it's preferable, Paul, if you've got it in a setting.
Yeah, that's it. And
Craigie,
that doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to do a posh base for everything that you build. That paper Panzer that you might have seen that I did earlier this year, the base that I built for that, I specifically did it generic, like for a generic base that I could put any sort of World War II armour on it, even modern stuff, because all it is a concrete base, or to look like and then it's just got a few cinder blocks all the way around, a bit of barbed wire, a few bits of detritus, and a few tufts and that, and then I can display anything that I want on there. So you don't have to be every time you do a new model, you need to do a new base for it. It just, like you say, it needs to be in a setting. And your man does loads of easy stuff like that already printed, doesn't he, from Coastal Kits, who judged it last year, who judged competition last year.
Certainly did.
Gary.
Matt, can I just interrupt?
Yes, mate.
Just say hello to Ghost Squadron 428.
Yes.
Been recommended to us from his hobby time.
Excellent.
So he's watching now.
So just to catch up, tonight's topic of conversation, apart from club, is armour, because it's something that I'm starting to like. Craigie, I'm going to make you full screen now.
Hello.
And ask you the same question. Why armour?
Armour for me personally is what I've worked on all my life. So I'm not digressing away from that bit. I'm just stuck in a rut. And in a rut that I've got comfortable with.
But why I'm saying armour, because we all know we've got aircraft, boats, ships, cars. But why armour? What am I going to get? What am I going to get out of building armour? What is Mark Lid and Rue going to get out of trying to build armour? What are we that's different from aircraft?
Like Paul said, it's the weathering. People think it's just slapping a bit of mud on it, but it's getting the mud in the right places to suit.
In scale.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Not just
and what sort of... So, Paul, I bumped into you today down at shop.
Certainly did.
And we were looking at and comparing. We were comparing the sort of weathering techniques that you can do on aircraft compared to armour. And the amount of products that we saw for weathering aircraft, you could literally fit there. But the amount of products that I saw for weathering armour was absolutely enormous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because, I mean, don't forget as well, you need to try and tell a story if you can. With what you do to the tank or whatever it is. Does it have soot on end at barrel because it's been fired a number of times? Is there a particular route that the crew take to get on and off it? In which case you'd get build up a mud, and it'd be a lot more than everywhere else, and you'd get little scratches that you might want to do with sponges and things like that. Is there, if you've got fuel canisters, for instance, have they leaked for all of which you can get a specific product like fuel stains, and like I said to you, Matt, I think that was one of the things that we were looking at.
It is right.
It's not just a product that's got gloss in it to make it look shiny. Actually, once it's dried, it still looks wet. And there are all these AK and MiG. I'm not doing that very well, am I? There we go. There are all these kind of things, and you can get engine grime, fuel stains, things like that. And like I say, if you can tell us a story, it's a lot more interesting. And when I did that Spitfire, so they were glad just dip my toe in something different because I just fancied doing something a bit different. I found myself holding back, not restricted, but I had to be careful because my tendency is to just go straight in and make it look as old as I can or whatever, make it look like it's been under sea for a year. But with that, I still wanted to make it look, crisp and that there, but you're still going to have little bits of paint that's been removed from where pilot gets in and out, and things like that. So when you do armour, for me, I think about it a lot, and I try and get try and get a story out for when viewer looks at it. Then hopefully they can see the same thing.
How long does it take you, Paul, to do an armoured vehicle on average then? Just I don't mean the Fury diagram, but just the vehicle itself.
Just a vehicle to paint it, probably a lot less than to build it. And I mean, a lot of it's cost. Once you've done a few, you get it down quicker, don't you? So, but I mean, I could probably do one in an evening and make it look something like, if it weren't too complicated, including starting off with chipping fluid. That good technique goes a long way. Because it's not enough on its own.
Mark Lid, so we've had a brief conversation. We're aircraft builders, aren't we? We're aircraft builders. Why have you ever dabbled in armour at all? What's going on?
I've done one Challenger in that desert mucky, with that desert colour, whatever it was, desert pink, was it?
Tell us about that. What?
Well, I did it about 4 years since. To be honest, I should have brought it, but it looks amateurish. When I look at it compared to these guys' stuff, it's a Challenger that I built. I bought the kit, went out, bought the kit, built it. I've never done a tank before, so I assembled it all, and then I basically painted it like it just come out factory fresh because I didn't know any different. Then I went about it with some, the Tamiya dusting powders. They look like little makeup bloody things, which at that time were all I had. And I just went at it with them. And at that time, I thought, I'm quite pleased with that. But then when I see people's nowadays, mine still looks like it's come out at factory, even though I thought it was mucky. nowhere near enough on it. Do you know what I mean?
Rue, what's your take on it?
Well, it was just something interesting Paul said earlier. I mean, I learned how little paint aircraft have on them after going up to Elvington and seeing a couple of planes up there. And you actually look, and it's almost like on some of them, it's a transparent layer. And I've been a complete git. I've always been too heavy with the paint, and that's where it's like when you're looking underneath and you're pre-shading, you're post-shading, and all that sort of stuff. And it's like Paul's hit the nail on the head when he says you're telling a story of where it's been and what it's done. Where it's the same with aircraft when you weather them, like with chipping and steps and smoke and exhaust and that sort of thing. But with it being a land-based vehicle, what you put on it is where it's been, not what it's doing. I don't know if that makes sense. With an aircraft, it's weathered because of what's in the air, what's being thrown at it, and this, that, other. But it's what the tank's been through to get to where it is, and what it's done. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's making a story, it's right. This is where I've been, and I'm going to go that way, and this is what's happened, and this, that, and other. A plane will wear because it's in the air and it's doing certain things, but it doesn't really tell you what it's done. Does that make sense? Unless you're going diorama and chopping bits off and making it crash, So yeah, I mean, to show you, that's the only bit of armour I've got on my stash.
Yeah.
Now.
Is that Japanese one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've done the little airfix stuff, but what I've seen today and what I see every day with tanks, it just blows me out of water with them. You know, to somebody that does it, it must be really easy. Right, it's been there, it's done that, blah, 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 dead ding, done. It'd take me months to work it out. Months.
What I said on my post-build video was, and I do obviously mean this, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. When you weather aircraft, less is more.
Yeah.
When you weather armour, more is more.
Right, okay.
Don't you think there's a certain
Because
element, though? It's personal preference, don't you think? A lot of it.
I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you for why. Let me explain. When you weather aircraft, you can build. Matt, you've just brought in some cracking builds to club. Mark Lid, you brought some cracking builds into club. You can get away with, on aircraft, literally painting, glossing, decaling, glossing to seal it in, whether you take that route or not. You can then get away with a pin wash, just pinning in the recessed panel lines. And do you know what? That enhances the look of the model, and in some respects, that'll do. The difference is that with armour, if you want to throw some Vallejo thick mud at the wheels, but you can't leave it at that, can you, Paul?
No. Even
If
even just chipping back, paint chipping's not enough on its own. You need to.
No.
It needs to be a number of techniques all working together.
Yeah.
Panel lining, dilute washers and glazes, acrylic colours that are just a mucky orange or brown, sponging, all sorts of things. I just disappeared there. I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm using my phone here, but I don't know if that's helpful.
What's sponging? Anybody enlighten me? What sponging is?
Let me just hang on a minute, guys. I'm just going to plug my mouse back into the bottom of my phone.
I know what sponge is. What is sponging?
So basically,
Sponging, well, you same as when you apply paint on a wall with a sponge. It's a really nice way of getting it on there, and you use sponging for chipping. Dependent on how much paint you leave on sponge, you can either get a kind of dry brush technique out of it, or if you've got more on it, tiny little scratches that'd appear that I don't really know how to get any other way, even with a little paintbrush, because it's random, you see, with a sponge.
Paul, I've made your screen big because I could see that you are trying your hardest to show us. Hopefully you can see what Paul's trying to do there. Paul, if you just flick your phone round so that it's on landscape and not portrait for us.
Sorry, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's great, yeah. So go on, explain what we've got here then, because we have got people watching, I'm sure, that are, you know, either into it or not into it. What's going off there then, mate?
Well, first, there's my generic base.
Yeah.
So even though I've got that printed, I can take that off because it's only on with blue tack.
Yeah.
That's this tank here, which were a prototype. But so I don't know if you can see, but you see the steel that's on there.
Yeah.
So that's starting with a cream colour, painted over like a hull red.
Yeah.
In between, you've got chipping solution, which you leave to dry, and then you apply the main colour, and then you use either a cocktail stick or a brush to whittle it away.
Yeah.
And then
good.
Then what you do is you panel line it. Can you see the streaks on front?
Yeah.
Right. Keep it steady there, mate, so that the people that are viewing can see.
So there you've got everything I've just spoken about there. So all these little scratches, that's done, which we sponging. You can see large chips and small chips going back using chipping solution. These steel panels here, they're exactly the same kind of thing. It's a rusty coloured base, chipping solution, different greys that's airbrushed on lightly in a mottled kind of random pattern, and then I've just got a cocktail stick, moistened it with a spray, just a cheap, one of them with water in it.
Yeah.
And then I've whittled it away so you get the brown coming back, and then used oil paints to make the streaks. Brown oil paints.
A little bit of a tutorial there from Paul. I hope that you were all taking note.
I'm almost recording. Matt, can you just look at the comments, please, mate? Because quite a few have popped up. I don't want to ignore public, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was really interesting. Do you know about that, Paul? The sulphur end of a matchstick?
The what, sorry?
Right.
The sulphur end of a matchstick.
What
He was
about
doing
it?
some weathering from Gray's models.
No.
The comment,
What?
Paul, on the screen. You should be able to see that at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, I see. Right. See, complete new novice to this. Now I'm using my phone as well, so everything's tiny.
Yeah.
I know the feeling, Paul.
No, I'm not aware of that. I'm not in what sense using it for what exactly?
So Gray's
I've never heard of
model.
that.
Gray's models is Graham that's been to club today from Cleethorpes.
Oh, right.
So Graham, let's expand on that last comment, mate, so that we can talk about that. I am going to go back through comments, so let's just have a look. So we've already said Ghost Squadron. What number's that? 4 to 8, is it?
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Let's just have a look a little bit further down. People are just chatting with each other. This one. I have hit the, what was that set? I have hit the like and definitely will be back. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for that, Ghosty.
Thank you.
That one, Hobby Time.
Yes, painted the real thing too, like the Vulcan, Canberra, Hunter, and Buccaneer. What? No Jags?
No chance. And then obviously back to the last one. I think the back to the topic of conversation. When I said I said that you can weather an aircraft very, very lightly, and some people literally just put, I'll pick a brand out, a Flory washing. What I found is, and again I mentioned it on the video, this is for you, Craig. Yeah. So I had finished my tank and I got it here in front of me, and I work after, so I don't have to start until 11 a.m. But I'm up early in the morning and I make a cup of tea, 7 o'clock, and I'm coming up here to roll a ciggy up, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at, and Craig, after 2 minutes, I'm literally going, oh, I'll just reach up here and I'll just add a little bit of this. And I'll just reach up here and I need a bit more powder, a bit more pigment. Guys, it just never seemed to end.
It never does. A tank's never ever done. There's always something else you think, oh, I could just do that bit there. I could just, or you put it away and think, oh, hang on a minute, there's that bit there I've missed. It's just a never-ending circle with them.
Paul, can you ever call time?
And how what, sorry?
Can you, I mean, obviously you do, but what's it like for you personally calling time, as it were, on a tank kit? When do you say, I've done?
Well, you see, that's the skill, no matter what art form it is, isn't it? And you just, I don't want to be, go against what Craig said necessarily, but I do get to a point where I call it done, because anything further would just spoil it. And yeah, you do have to spoil things to know how far to go. You have, what I mean? You've got to push it to that.
You've got to learn that lesson, mate.
Yes, you have. Just like anything else. Yeah. Test things to destruction, and you know how far you can push it next time. But trial and error, isn't it? But yeah, to be honest, yeah, these ones, I have got to a bit of a stage where I can, sort of leave it. Just because as well, you get to a stage where the more you do, not only do you spoil whatever you've done, it just can't. It kind of gets a bit messy, and it doesn't.
The word that will pop into my mind, Paul, is noise. Right. So when you're weathering that model, and you're applying filters and different kinds of things, there gets to a stage where there's literally too much noise, and you've overdone it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's easy to do as well.
Yeah.
And all you do is you end up just, like I say, spoiling what you've done, and things just become muddy, and they don't read and like you want them to. And a lot of time you kind of go back on yourself and think, God, I wish I'd have just left it.
Yeah.
That's through experience, though, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything's gone quiet. Why is that?
No, we're just listening.
I don't know.
We're listening, mate.
It was just something.
No, I'm struggling to hear you guys all of a sudden when you're talking.
Let me just have a look at your settings.
So, quick question then for Craig and Paul. These, which will be these 116 kits that are coming out lately seem to be getting into vogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would they be easier to make than a one small 135 kit, or just show more mistakes?
It will show more mistakes, but the detail's got to be absolutely perfect. Because the bigger the tank, the bigger the detail should be. So weld lines, seam lines, they've got to be bang on if you're going to do it.
Is that why 1 in 35 is the, in aircraft, the scale? I know that we've got a lot of 1 in 72 guys out there, but 1 in 48 seems to be the general nucleus of aircraft. And you're right in the bigger that you go, the more detail you've got, but the more, would I be right in saying on a larger scale, the bigger you go, the more
shows mistakes
advanced you've got to be in your own technique, Paul.
Mark, sorry, could you turn? When you altered something there, it came back and we went all of a sudden. Did you alter any settings so I could hear you louder?
Yes.
Could you do it just a bit louder, please? Because otherwise I can't really hear what you're saying.
I can, bear with me. Try that, mate.
Feel like I'm on stage, but a little bit more. It monitors.
Bear with me. Let me just change the settings. I've just got to be wary of. You're actually now, Paul, on 172% microphone.
Can I push it to 200 and see if it breaks?
This guy's been on stage before.
Well, listen,
you're not wrong, mate. I have before COVID. That's what I used to do.
We can all hear you fine.
Yeah, I've got you back now. That's better.
I'm gonna. The next thing you need, mate. Have you got any cotton buds there that you clean your airbrush out with? Just stick
Worst
one in
thing you
your
can
ear.
clean your airbrush out with that.
Yeah, and we all do it. Right, so where were we? Rue.
Yes.
Armour.
I picked on some of that Paul said about this tank thing. About the anchor, the amount of weathering you have to put on a tank. Now, I've known it with rally cars that you have to have a certain an angle from the wheels to come off, and it's not plaggy apart from on the mud flaps or on the back of the wheel arches. That's where it clags. But you get a stream of mist that comes off the wheels, and that's how you get the diagonal strike, the stripe. Yeah. And it's like with the tank, it's more of a, how can I describe it? It's more of a mixer, so you'll get more of the mud on the tracks, the wheels, underneath the arch wheel, the track arch. You don't seem to get a lot thrown up at the back, if you know what I mean.
That's right,
So actually, guys, you've got to know, in some respects, your subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to research what you're doing.
I don't know anything about tanks. I don't know the spray lines. I'm just... You've seen them on films and on programs where they go through ditches, over ditches, through rivers and this and other. But it's how it hangs off the vehicle when it comes out of a situation that you need to know. I mean, I know rally cars inside out. I've dealt with them for years and years and years. And I know that the stink and that line is very important. But it's knowing your subject and knowing what it's like, going back to the story, what it's done and where it's been and how that's reacted with the undergrowth, the mud, and how it hangs on the chassis and the tracks and the body, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see if I take that camera around and I'll show you two that I've got that are like same thing. 2 seconds. You can take my camera around. Oops.
I used to go up Yorkshire, not motorbike, and now and again I used to get, daft as it sounds, just to slow down because challenges were coming other way on some of the roads. Now, somebody, they didn't look, and I'm having a go at anybody that likes to mucky the tanks up. They didn't all look like they were caked in shit.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's where because it all seems to happen round the tracks, and it doesn't come over as much. You might get a bit of the front from back.
And of course, a modern tank won't have heavy corrosion either, would it?
No.
You're looking more like, again, this is where setting and story comes in. Like the tank that I showed you on that base there, with it being a paper panzer, as they call it, a prototype. I did it so it would just like sat there as if it had been sat for ages, abandoned. If it's a modern tank, whereabouts is it? And is it muddy? Is it dusty? But you certainly won't see a lot of sort of heavy corrosion, would you? Where you, if say for instance you choose mud, there's going to be a line, depending on tank's sort of top speed and what have you. It's only going to kick it up to a certain level, isn't it? And it's going to be thicker there, and then it's going to fade away, sort of thing.
Yeah, these up at Catterick, mate, used to come past you. They look like somebody just painted it before they come out every day.
Oh, might have
10 blokes washing them.
That's army for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Up in doubt, painted.
That's army for you. They have them. Sorry, swearing there. They have them with hosepipe out sweeping yard when it's pissing it down, don't they?
Yeah.
So been there many times. Painting
I can see Craig that's trying his hardest to flick his camera around. I am going to put Craig on full screen. So come on, Craig, show us what you've got.
What we've got here. Can you see them? I can't see them.
Yeah, we can, mate. Yes.
Yeah. So the front one here, that's a infantry carrying vehicle. So it's obviously more used than the rear one. Which is ambulance. So the weathering techniques is totally different. Obviously, the front one's more weathered because it's out every day. Where the ambulance is a bit more cleaner because it only goes out every now and again.
Yeah. Are they metal tracks then, Craig?
They are, yes.
And are they painted or are they etched?
Done with that.
Was it all right?
Yeah.
Sulphur blow.
Sulphur blow or super blow.
So that's just basically gun blue, that. What you use on gun barrels and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all that is.
So it's a general oxidizing agent, that then, isn't it?
So that'll do PE and everything like that. Make this one upside down. And with the metal tracks again, just look how they sag when you pick them up. They just sag so nicely.
Yeah.
When they go back. How they should be.
For the people who are watching, if you drop your comments in, let us know what you think, because like I said, Paul and Craig armour builders, the rest of us aren't. Craig, what else have you got in your little workshop there? Come on, fleet us round while we're on.
Where are we then? So we've got this one here, which is the Mark 5 and the Challenger up at the back.
Yeah.
The man that came out today to play.
Yeah.
The Scammell that I did for my dad before he passed away.
Yeah.
My Foden. Don't know if you can see that one better.
Yeah.
Drops.
Yeah.
The diorama that I brought in today.
Yeah.
Which is where is it? The classic Armistine of an AS90 getting recovered.
Yeah.
I'm not very. We've got a Chinook up here. With a Land Rover underneath it.
Cool. I like that.
Over this side, where are we? We've got a Challenger 1.
Yeah.
Different weathering techniques again on the top of it.
That was going to be my question, because in fact, go on, carry on. I'll wait.
Yep. Then we've got an AS90. Where are we? There we are.
Yeah.
The little scimitar.
Yeah.
Up here we've got a Challenger driver training tank.
Chuffing hell, how many's I got?
A few, one or two.
Carry on.
Moving on, we've got the Challenger Street Fighter, which was designed for the Royal Tank Regiment for urban warfare.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the Megatron, which we use in
Megatron.
Afghanistan.
Happy days.
Up here, we've got the
Does it transform?
Challenger Krav, which is the combat recovery vehicle.
Yeah.
Next one, we've got the Chieftain recovery vehicle.
Yeah.
The later one. Next one, we've got the Chieftain early recovery vehicle.
Bloody hell.
And then we've
He
got
don't mess about, Craig, does he?
He don't, does he?
Recovery vehicle.
It's like walking around Bobbiton.
We've got the, I don't know if you can see it, if my camera is working right. Where are we? The Scammell.
Yeah.
In training. The all-important regimental flag.
Yeah.
Down below, where are we? Here you go, we've got a warrior.
I'll tell you what, you ought to start charging for this. Jesus Christ.
It's like walking through a museum, mate. It's superb, that, mate. Absolutely superb.
We've got an Oshkosh British tank transporter. Which is there, if you can see it right. All the way down.
Yeah.
Below that, we've got the American tank transporter.
Jesus.
With the Warrior 513 British recovery tank on back of it for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Then in this corner, we've got the old Trojan mine clearance and engineering.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant then, mate.
And over
absolutely
here,
brilliant.
Yeah,
I know we are finished.
Paul today.
Oh, God.
Have you done that yet?
Not yet. Tomorrow.
Playing that? Outstanding, that, sir.
I'm just going to say, I'm not actually going to say anything. What I'm going to do is that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, mate.
Stunning that, mate.
Let me just have a look down here. So, let's just have a look. So, Graham says, I'll tell you what, I wish that I could read these bloody things. Graham says, I love watching YouTube today. I was watching YouTube today. We've done that one, a guy with the sole friend of a matchstick. Dave out
what he's using the sulphur end of a matchstick for?
Weathering, scratching and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, so just like a cocktail stick then. It's not actually using sulphur, he's using
it's using
just a matchstick.
To create.
It was rubbing the match on part of his tank for different shading results.
See, I use a pencil for stuff
I've
like
never
that.
seen that before.
No.
That's new on me as well. I've never heard of that.
Well, if you rub it too quick and it strikes.
Yeah, then you're
The
knackered.
fire going off.
You've got automatic weathering.
Yeah. Battle damage.
Yeah.
Hauser says, love Craig's build, something interesting everywhere you look.
Thanks, Dave.
And
When
what's
you're
our
opening doors to
answer?
public then, Craig?
Say again, sorry.
When you're opening doors to public?
I don't know. I'm going to tank using this week, Monday, and see what they charge. Then I'll put same on garage.
Mark, what's your hands put there? I can't read that.
I think an invite to view and a cup of tea is on the cards.
Oh, right.
Anytime.
Okay. Looks like you're getting some visitors.
Anytime.
I need to charge it.
I've got a question for you. Well, first of all, a comment, then a question. Comment is, if obviously, if you're the 17 watching at the moment, I've just made Craig's screen big so that we can have a look around Craig's builds, and we all appreciate that, Craig. If you've got any comments that you want to drop into the comments there, just do that. And then the second one is, and this is more again for your Pauls and your Craigs. Weathering techniques. Craig, you sort of hit the nail on the head and said you don't weather two vehicles the same.
Yeah. They
Paul?
operate totally different. Different environments, different jobs. So one might be knee deep in mud, while the other one's stuck to a road.
Have you tried any snow camo?
Craig actually did it on that transporter, didn't he?
No, that's just UN.
Oh, right. Sorry. Do apologise.
Yeah. But I have got a warrior to make. Now I'm doing in UN again, but I'm going to do it in Bosnia in the winter. So I will be trying snow for that.
Okay. Mark Lid, is it whetting your appetite at all?
If I'm honest, not particularly. It's not my thing. I can't. You know what I mean?
Yes, mate, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't my thing. I've built that chieftain tank, and now I want to make it more.
Yeah. I appreciate the skills, and I know what Paul. When Paul was just going through that tank, how he'd done the front, all the different steps. I thought, well, I could see how he can apply that to like any World War II fighter. You know, with scratching and then this on it and some corrosion on it, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see how I can see how he can cross from one genre onto other, no problem. You know what I mean? But as far as me going out building tanks, that's not very likely. I'll be honest. I've only got time to build the stuff I like to do. Never mind build something that don't really float me boat. You know what I mean?
What about Andy Norfolk? Andy, is any of this whetting your appetite, mate?
Well, to be totally honest, I'm going to have a go at this thing that I've got here.
Excuse me, we'll have to charge my phone.
And I'll give it a go, and no doubt I'll ask for advice, and I'll take it from there, mate.
Just hold me that up again, Andy, so I can see. What the bloody hell's that? Is that what's that? Well, it's Japanese medium tank.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
So, Paul, just looking at that screen there, what's the hints and tips and advice for something like that?
Well, it comes down to again, you know, what story you're wanting to tell. Is it where is it? What's happened to it? So
yeah,
you've got to come up with that first before you start, because otherwise you're just clutching at straws. Really, you've got to think about what you want to, what setting it's in. But
so I've got to research the theatre of what it were in and what obviously whereabouts it was to recreate the weathering that would come from that, whether it be mud, like you said, hard surfaces or what? I don't know.
Yeah,
I've seen
I mean,
footage of-
you
yeah,
can put
so
as
I've seen footage of these
much
small
or as
Japanese
little
tanks.
research into, how it's supposed to look. Anyway, but
Yeah.
They used to use them in jungle a lot, did Japanese, didn't they, these small tanks? Like infantry support.
all
To
right.
be- I
You know
wouldn't
what I
know,
mean?
mate,
Like,
to be honest.
when they're
I'm
fighting
totally out of my depth
Singapore
with
and
that,
that.
so no idea.
I find a simple way is if you just Google whatever it is and click images,
Yeah.
just skip
yeah,
through
that-
it and pick one that you
Yeah,
want.
it's a good start point, that, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Paul.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
can
know
I
a
just
lot
say
with
something?
cars.
You know what Mark said about it's not floated his boat. That's just like that's totally okay. I think my main takeaway is just try different things that do float your boat, just to
Yeah.
when it suits.
Yeah.
You don't have to just put down what you enjoy and what have you. But sometimes we get a little bit tired, a little lose your mojo is one that's saying, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
think that's the perfect time. It doesn't have to be something that your mate is doing, but don't just dip your toe in something a bit different.
Yeah.
You know, if it don't work
I
out, it
appreciate
doesn't
what
matter,
you
does
said
it?
about get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you will learn things. And if you think, well, it's not for me, you'll go back to what you do normally, and you'll have other techniques to call on.
Take some
If
back
you
with
like.
it, can't you?
Yeah. So even
I'm-
if it's not, armour, I think it's important to just because we all like models, don't we? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
trying to ask Jane. I'm trying to get Jane into it and see what she thinks.
I've got a Battle of Britain diorama kit with some tanks on it that I'm going to have a go at.
Put your face up so we can see you.
Sorry, I mean,
Yeah.
Hello, Jane.
you don't sit up
Perfect then.
with it.
Well, yeah, so they can see you.
Sorry,
They think you're talking to
sorry,
Kearns.
I'm still here. I'm busy.
I've
I'm
met-
busy.
I've made you big, Gene. I've made you big.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
There you go. So what's the other thing?
Battle of doing tanks. I'm going to have a go. But I
Yeah,
don't know
brilliant.
what
Yeah, but the beauty is, I mean, it's like Paul said, you're in out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
but it's like, will it re-infuse you? If you've lost your mojo, is it worth a try to give it another
I haven't lost it
I
yet.
think
No, I am. I mean, after seeing that you've done with that thing, I mean, that's something else so far.
Andy, I think the thing is, go on, hold it up. I think the thing, from my personal point of view, I think the thing with Jean is that we're all just really happy that she's doing modelling and having a great go at everything. And I said it today down at club.
Yeah.
I've never been disappointed with all that she's done.
No. So, I mean, at the moment, she's finding everything new. And it's just like, she asks me less and less and less on every kit she does. So that can only be a good thing.
Because you always
she's getting
get
on
wrong
with
advice.
it, so it's just like, every so she, what am I doing with this? Well, like you did last time. Oh, yeah. Like we all done it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go for a tank?
Well, I'm going to have a go, aren't I? I've got a couple of little...
Yeah, so she's going to give it a go. We're both going to give it a go and see what we think. I can't say further than that.
Marky Bridge, busy beavering away there in the corner. Armour, what have you done for armour?
I have done the first tank I did was a King Tiger Henschel turret, and that was the first armour that was also airbrushed. I was quite happy with it. It wasn't in any way, shape, weathered. It was just done straight out of the box and painted.
Yeah.
Very happy with the result. I was happy with it. I liked it. My second one was a 1/16 Tiger 1.
Yeah.
All assembled. I've just got the tracks to colour. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And as you know, Mark, because that was that part work one. And that was brilliant.
Mate. Yeah.
Took me best part of 6 months. And my third and final delve into armour was a Churchill tank, which was runner-up to being grand champion a couple of years ago.
It was actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, that was a very nice one. That one, I
Just
have to
because-
hold my hand up, and I have to hold my hand up to that. And I said I couldn't. I don't think I could have got that win without Glennie. So cheers, Al, if you're watching.
Big for you. Yeah, big up, mate. Big up. You know,
just because, and Paul, we talked about it today. Just because I want to do armour does not mean that I have to do something on tracks with a big sticky gun out of the end.
No,
right?
That's
Yeah.
fun.
could be a
Hang on a
half
minute,
track. Could be a Jeep.
Let me just make
But
Craig's screen a little bit bigger. Craig, what you got there, mate?
That is the British Mastiff 2, used in Afghanistan, and now Ukraine. Ukraine.
And what's all that stuff round the body called?
It's called
Sorry about
bore
that.
armour. Basically, it's to stop rocket-propelled grenades entering the vehicle.
Really?
Yeah,
Stops RPGs, doesn't it, Craig?
yeah.
RPG.
The reason that I'm saying that is because I do fancy one of those missile launchers. I fancy doing an anti-aircraft type of vehicle that's got two guns on it, kind of thing. That's what's. I've done a tank, but I do fancy doing something different.
Like the Chieftain do one as well.
There's. I'll tell you what I've seen, Craig. That's really got me sort of like going, oh, let me get on eBay here. It's a men kit. I think. Who had it? Paul Radcliffe, who are going to join us but has dropped off. I hope you're still watching, Paul. Paul has either built it or he's got it in his stash, and it's basically quite the long vehicle, but it's got, I think it's 6 massive missile sort of rocket type things on it, and I do like the look of that.
Is it that Russian
Is
book?
Is that Smirch?
I think it's that Russian anti-aircraft setup.
It's that Smirch that I've put on thingy.
Is it, mate? I thought it was the UK. No? No?
You said Russian?
I think it's Russian, Paul, but I won't know.
Yeah, it's
I
that
wouldn't
Smirch
know.
I got off Housey.
Is it the one that is the box art on it, Paul, isn't landscape, it's portrait?
Yeah, it's the Russian anti-aircraft missile system, Paul.
Is it? No, am I talking about wrong one?
Possibly.
So, yeah. I
But
think
I do fancy a bit of that.
That's what I'm going to say to you as well, Mark. Is it armour or is it just weathering that you're wanting to do?
Which Mark?
Sorry, you. Is it armour that you wanted to, per se, or are you just wanting to learn different weathering techniques?
No, it's armour, mate.
Is it?
Because what I found, Paul, was once right, listen, when we build aircraft, we all know we build aircraft in sub-assemblies. When you open that book on an aircraft, you did it yourself, it always starts with office, instrument panel, seats, tub, all that into 2 halves of fuselage, 2 wing halves together, elevators together, flaps together, sub-assemblies. It's all about sub-assemblies. It's all about, you have to paint all inside the cockpit, detail it up, get it all right. Then you close it all up, you put your canopy on, you mask it off, then you're onto the main body. The thing that I enjoyed about doing the tank was you build the bloody thing, then get your airbrush out and crack on.
Mm.
And it was completely different to building a Tornado, to building an A10, a Phantom, a Spitfire. Totally different. So that's new to me.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
So in relation to the question, no, mate, I really fancy doing a little bit more armour.
Yeah.
You know what?
And I
Chunky as
can't,
well, innit?
and I can't wait for Telford. I said it again on last video. I can't wait because when I go and I'm going with all you guys, I'm kind of missing half of what's available. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know you're coming
Skip
from.
on the road Adam straight to aeroplanes. Half of it you're not even looking at.
Yeah, half of it you're not even looking at because it's not what you do, and that's not. I'm not going to say it's not fair, but it's same as what Paul's just asked. Paul's just asked the question. Let me just make Paul's screen bigger. Paul's just asked the question: is it weather or is it armour? Well, it's both because the total. Let's have a look. No, it's not that one, mate.
Not that one, you say?
It's not that one, love.
It's
No.
not that one.
Mark Lid. I'm gonna make you big. I don't feel comfortable saying that.
Hang on a second, mate.
I'm gonna change my dialect and I'm gonna say I'm gonna make you
I've kept
larger.
it clean all night.
Mark.
Yeah, that's it.
Lost
Other
it.
side. Yeah, that's it. Other side. To your right.
To my right. Back to bloody front. There we go.
That's it. Craigie, can you see that?
I can, yeah.
That's what I fancy a bit of that, me.
That looks a big machine, that.
I do fancy a bit of that. That is calling to me. That particular kit there is calling to me like a tornado calls to me.
That looks a big ass tank, that.
Is it a bit? What's the price on that, Craigie? What are we looking at?
Hang on.
Mark, sorry.
66 quid.
Is that all?
That's what this says here. £66.
And I bet that's a good length, that.
Engaged smirk. Yeah, I was just waiting for Paul to look up then.
Sorry, what?
What did you say, Craig?
I bet that is a good length, that. Be a good size.
That one.
It's always got to get down to length and girth.
I like that. That looks really tasty. And you've not done all like that, Craigie?
No, I just stick to what
Russian,
I know,
Craig.
which is British. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mainly build stuff that I've touched in real life and worked on. So I'm a bit.
What did you do? You were in the army though, Craig, weren't you?
I was a mechanic.
A mechanic.
Yeah.
What? Working on all the tanks and the armor and shit.
I was more BMX, more soft skin vehicles, but I did dabble in armor, 432s, scimitars, CVRTs, all that sort of range.
I'm listening.
Make me big for a couple of seconds.
Wait.
You wish.
Same issue.
Oh, look at that.
£52.
That's on
Graham says it's a Sam 6. That looks. I fancy a bit of that. That will definitely be. I'm saying definitely. I'm penciling it in, but it will definitely be in a carrier bag on the 11th or 12th of November.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, tidy, mate.
Amazon today or for the next 2 days.
I believe
Yeah,
it's a year since Telford almost. 10 months, is it?
yeah.
Telford went last time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fly, isn't it?
changing subject. Come on then, let's talk about Telford. So, Rowan Jean, you're going. Craigie, you're going. Paul, you're going. Mark and Ange, you're going. And Bridge, is Bridgie going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we looking forward?
Yeah, really looking forward to it, yeah.
Has anybody on screen stopped over and done the full 2 days? Mark, let me make you small. Let's get everybody involved. Has nobody done the full 2 day? Craig, have you done the full 2 days?
My first time was last year for that one.
Really?
Really, yeah. That's the first time I've been.
Okay.
And it was a big eye opener.
Where's Bridgie? Where's Bridgie? Has he gone?
He's run off.
He has run off.
He's gone. He's left us.
How are you gonna? How are we? We've all got individual plans. How are we? Paul, how are you gonna attack Telford, mate?
Goes back to when I get this operation done, mate. Cutting it fine at minute, to be honest.
When's your operation?
This is it. I'm waiting for it, but because I've had a chest infection, see, I've ended up on antibiotics, so it's knocked me back 6 weeks.
All right.
So,
so you touch and go. Are you touch and go, mate?
I'll be going.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive down because I'm a better driver than passenger. But if it gets to a point where I still can't drive, then I'm going to have to be begging someone for a lift.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't need to beg anybody, mate. You'll be coming. Mark,
even if I'm slung up and still on drugs, I'll be going. I'll drag my send there. I'm not going to miss it.
I'll roll you into a boat. Don't worry, big boat.
You'll do me, kidder.
Mark and Ange, how are you going to attack Telford?
I can't speak for Ange, but I think I'm going to spend the first day having a steady walk round, just trying to take it in for the change instead of galloping around trying to see it all.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to go on to trade stuff. Me, I missed all the models and display last time. Just look, because I was burnt out when I'd been round trade stuff.
You are, mate.
Yeah, I want to see out models and displays this time.
Yeah.
Now, I know what I'm doing on the Sunday, which is going up to the at the balcony area, because that's where they'll be holding their remembrance service on the Sunday. So anybody who's been in the forces can go up there as well.
Sunday, right?
On Remembrance Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Ange, I have got a question for you, because Ange is club events coordinator, and it's Ange that's actually organised all of our trip to Telford this year. Ange, do you know just off the top of your head what time we can go into our hotel?
Hotel's around about 2:00. So it's a matter of you get there when you want to, go around the show, we'll all have to sort of go to the hotel around about the same time, because I've got all the bookings.
Okay.
Most important.
Cool. Mark Bridge, you're coming to Telford this year. What's your plan?
Spend money.
Spend money. Yeah. Have you been before?
Not to Telford.
It's a tiring experience.
It's going to be like a kid in a sweet shop, innit?
It will be for my credit card as well.
Absolutely. Our Graham, we're going to start and call him our Graham. Our Graham now wants the 1 in 48 Seeking, so that takes it away from Paul and Craig and puts the emphasis back on us because Rue, Mark, you were all on Facebook. We've seen the new Airfix release. 1 in 48 Seeking. Let's go round the room. Mr. Lid.
No, not for me. I appreciate it. It does look nice, but I'm keeping my powder dry for their new Gannet.
Okay. Rooster.
Not sure. I might have a double, but with Mark just mentioning the Gannet, that might be something to look at as well. That sounds interesting, that, Paul.
Okay, Mr. Bridge.
Not for me.
Wow. So
I would like to. If the one kit I would like to get would be the. I know it's a year or two old now, and that was Airfix's 148 Buccaneer.
Which one, Mark? The naval one or the new one that's coming out, the RAF one?
Well, if the RAF one comes out, all well and good. In fact, I'll probably wait for the RAF one.
It's supposed to be out in October in all Desert Storm colours.
Well,
I'm just going to drop on the floor. Sorry, lads. I'm just going to drop onto comments back on it. I've got 3 or 4 comments that I just need to pop up on screen. Derek saying yes. Yes to what? Graham saying if I can do the yellow version. We're definitely not going to get back into that conversation this evening. Ghost Squadron says thank you and great stream, guys. See you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate your comments and your viewing.
Thank you, great.
I'm not sure what this one means, Andy Norfolk.
Surprise.
What, you sound like Cilla Black.
Mark Bridge. We can share this, mate, because I won't use them all.
Well, you got the job lot. Blimey.
So
Right,
Look
well,
at
can James just peg in?
Sweet.
So
Cool, cool.
Can James just peg in?
I'm just going to skip a couple of comments first. So Derek says 2 days at Telford. Thanks for clearing that up, Derek. And you will have your polo shirt by then. But, Mark, you're still big. But, Derek, I do want to, obviously I am club through and through. It will be fantastic to have you wearing your club polo. However, I just need to remind you, it will be November. It will be cold. So let me know what your hoodie size is.
Have we got new merch coming, Mark? Did you say?
I am in the middle of designing new merch for 2024. We're nearly there.
Designing new merch? What, like with frilly collars and that kind of thing?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're aware, Paul, but all the merch that everybody wears, I am chief designer. Gray's models, R. Graham says R. Graham. Yeah, because that's what Scylla said, isn't it? Over to R. Graham. And Hobby Time says...
The two gannets, Hobby Time.
Yeah, two gannets.
He's a gannet for a gannet.
It's got
Mark,
some sort of carrier deck diorama going on there, I think.
Mark, is the gannet the one with the twin prop on the front?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
There's one
Right, have a minute here, right? So we've done Seeking, that's what we're doing. You haven't even asked me what my plan is for Telford.
Because we don't care.
Yeah. Armour or another tornado.
Thanks for that. Maybe. I haven't made my mind up yet. Let me just have a look. So we've done Telford Seeking. So what is it about the gannet? Is it the subject or is it what is it?
It's got the looks only a mother could love. Do you know what I mean?
It's one ugly mother, isn't it? Yeah, it really is.
But it's just such an unusual subject to pick.
Bridgie? Gannet?
Yes.
Gannet?
Not for me.
Not for me.
It's a strange one because the airfield that was local to me when I was a boy, the majority of the site, and it was a ferry test site, and they did do the majority of the flight testing and development at White Waltham. and along with the Fairy Rotodine as well. And my mum said that, I mean, we lived 3.5, possibly even 4 mile away from the airfield, and you could hear them things firing up like crazy. They were so distinct,
Really?
and with it being a massive engine with a contra-rotating prop, it had a noise all of its own.
Yeah.
And
Mark and Rue,
all developed before my time, and they said it was just phenomenal.
Mark and Rue, back to you. What? Go on, elaborate. It's an ugly looking thing, and is that what's drawing you in? That it's ugly?
Well, I first really got to see one up at Elvington, and I thought, my God, that's an ugly bastard. So yeah, I think that could be quite a. Yeah, I might have a go at one of that. And Jane was just saying she's interested in the Buccaneer as well, so she might be buying that down at Telford.
But there's such a big, massive bloody thing to say it's got that one contra-rotating prop on front.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. It might have 2 bloody engines. I'm not sure if they've got 2 engines driving it. Maybe Bridgie knows that one.
Well, I think the engine was called a double Mamba, so possibly.
I've heard of that saying before, but it weren't nothing to do with the airplane.
no, I had one, but I snapped it.
But yeah, but it's a bloody massive. It's a massive beast. Back to Gannet now, by the way.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah,
I know you weren't talking about me, Mark.
That's the blue one, isn't it? Elvington.
Not after today at Club Room.
you want to sell it, mate? Sell it, Craig.
That's that blue aircraft, isn't it? At Elvington.
Yeah, it's navy colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for me.
It's just an unusual subject.
The guys who are watching us, obviously we have covered quite a varied amount of topics tonight. Is anybody else interested in this seeking? Is anybody else interested in this Gannet? Are we going to be fighting each other with sticks and putting us names on things?
Folding wings on a Gannet are special, says Derek.
Yeah.
Special in what way, Derek? As in special needs or special, you know?
Have we seen, because I haven't really looked, is it a folded wing version that you can do? Is it 1 folded wing, 2 folded wings? What's going on?
As far as I can remember, there were, what were they all carrier based?
Yeah.
So they'll have to. There must be folding wings. Must be.
This airpiece kit's definitely got folding wings.
Is there only? Has nobody else brought a Gannet out in the past and like this is the only one or what?
I know they have built one. They have released one before, but I wasn't really interested until I saw the one at Elvington, and I thought, oh, that's an ugly bugger. So yeah, and it's to do with 148 now. I think that might be one for my list.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Talk between your sense.
Oh, God, he's off now. You can tell he's getting old. He's off for a pee.
Here's one I built earlier.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back to the studio. No, we won't. Unbelievable. It's a bit of a bugger when horse buggers off for a piss halfway through. Isn't it? Oh, he's back on. Yeah.
No, unbelievable.
And now, back to the studio.
Apologies, I've just heard George's scooter making a bit of a racket outside, and I'm looking outside because my window's here. It's pitch black, and I'm thinking somebody's trying to pinch George's scooter. Except I've been outside, and George has been on his scooter. He's absolutely piss wet through because he's been scootering up and down the street like some kind of maniac.
No, there then.
So my take on Telford is I really haven't decided. On the one hand, I don't really know what I want to buy 100%. I know what I kind of want to go for. I know I've already got my penciled in list, but my fear is nobody's got an infinite supply of cash. Am I going to go down on Saturday look round as much as I can, but see something that I fancy, I'll buy that, I'll buy that, I'll buy that, and then get to Sunday and think, oh shit, I've run out of money. I wish I'd have bought that. I wish I'd have bought that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 My fear would be
on Saturday is probably some MRP paints, something like that. Something that I know I'm going to use for definite. Stock up on a few of them bits, and then I probably won't buy anything until Sunday then.
My fear would be going round, getting what I want, buying what I need, and then on the Sunday, all spent up, and then Airfix do an announcement saying, "Oh, we're just redoing a retooled 148 Jag."
Oh, listen to this, Mark, go, Mr. Bridge. This Ghost Squadron 428 asks this question. Before I go, guys, do you make playing kits to order? Do you build it for me and I pay you for doing it?
Well,
there you go. There you go. Commission build for anyone there.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
You do.
Yes, I can.
I haven't.
I've never done a commission build before. It depends. It depends on subject, to be honest.
Yeah, it would depend if you what you want, what scale you want, if you're in the UK, etc., etc. Loads and loads of questions. But yeah, I've done my fair share.
Yeah, and what do you expect? I have the Gannet on pre-order. That's Derek with double folding wings. Only 1/72nd scale before, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember how bigger than 172. Thanks for that, Derek.
Classic airframes did a 148, but it was very basic, apparently.
So this Airfix kit must be absolutely outstanding then.
I've seen CAD drawings of it, you know, for interior and that, and it looks really good. You know, but like I say, it's hopefully Airfix won't be hit and miss with it. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll nail it.
Yeah, they seem to have hit and miss with this bond bug thing, with parts not being formed properly, don't they?
That's I was at Halifax yesterday talking to Dave at Halifax.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It's the largest pre-order thing they've ever had. Airfix that.
What, the bond bug?
The bond bug. Yeah. Flying off shelves they are.
Oh, I've seen a lot of complaints about malformed parts in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But knowing Airfix will sort them out.
On what, Mark Lynn? On what?
The bond bug.
What's that?
It's the fastest thing that's going out of Halifax at the moment.
Right.
It's the bond bug. It's a three-wheeler.
Oh, the James Bond bug.
Well, it's literally a James Bond bug, but they call it the bond bug.
Right.
Yeah. It's just a new release, isn't it, Mark?
It is, mate. Well, it's a new old one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in their what you call classics range, which means it'll be shit.
All right. Okay. So back to Telford. Paul Patton, is there one kit specifically that you're going to go down and you must pick it up while you're there?
No, I'm trying to thin my stuff out, mate.
You are, Mark.
like
you are. I know you are, Mark Lid.
I would probably like Italy. Apparently, I'm going to do a 1/35th scale if it's not already out. F35, a 1/32nd scale F35.
Okay, Mr. Bridge.
Yes, here we go.
Thinking.
No, you've got nothing that you. When I go to Telford, I am picking one of these up.
No, like I said, if this new Airfix RAF Buccaneers out, yeah. But other than that, nothing specific.
Okay, Craig.
Whatever takes me fancy.
Cool.
And Andy wants if Paul's still listening, Paul apparently last year picked up an LED light that he uses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With the magnifier built in.
Craft lights. That's what I've got it on at the minute. I can't do it at it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what Angie's after. Angie's after one of those. That's what
good buy. They usually have a show price as well.
Yeah.
I'll probably get a new one of them. And having said that, I'm thinning my stash down does not mean that I won't be taking as much money as I can spare and coming back with nothing in my pocket and big carrier bag. So, you know, at least intention's going to be there. But
what's it called, that light, Paul? What manufacturer is it?
They're called craft lights, and they're in Lowestoft.
No.
Lights of Lowestoft.
Is it Lowestoft? Lowestoft? Yeah, Lowestoft.
Yeah, Lowestoft. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
There is a shop on the A638 going just as you get into or going towards Doncaster.
Yeah.
And
On the left-hand side.
They do stuff like that.
Did you know? I think Mark's going to say what I'm going to say.
I think that Alma went and had arranged a bit of a discount, but I don't know as to how much. I can't remember. I don't know if it was 10%.
I don't believe it's 10%. Craigie, what's on your mind? What have you got to go and get?
I'm thinking the Meng Apache.
Oh, now then.
Which one?
The British one.
You
Yeah.
buy one of them.
Say again, Paul.
Comments?
For that hobby time. There's already a 132 F-35A and F-35C out now. Oh, there you go then.
Cool. And one there, Graham. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I'm not looking at screen. I'm looking down. Good night, guys. Great live chat, and thanks again for inviting me today, Graham. Absolutely, the pleasure was absolutely all ours, mate. To have somebody, I think you've probably dropped off now, mate, but the pleasure was absolutely all ours to have somebody come to our little club all the way from the coast, make the journey, make the effort, put the time and effort in to come and spend time with us, have a butty, have a cuppa, get some modelling done. Really, really appreciated, mate.
Yeah, next time you come, bring some fish and chips from my favourite chippy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Go Squadron, Mark, can you read that one for us?
It says, I can't say too much because it will be for me and my dad, and I do not want him to know what it is because he is watching Laugh Out Loud. How do I get in touch with you guys?
Go.
This is back to the commission, mate.
Yeah. Right. You can email me. So get your pen out. I don't mind anybody having my email address. So get your pen and paper out. And I will tell you what my email is. Another one there from our Derek.
Cheers, Derek, for that. F-35B. Yeah.
Ooh,
okay.
Trumpeter. I thought it was hilarious. Trumpeter. All right.
Okay, so we've covered everybody apart from myself and Ruin Jean. Jean?
Yes.
Have you got something on mind that you're looking specifically for at Telford, or are you just open to what you see on the day?
The mod's coming out of Mark's wallet. Sorry, Andy's wallet. That's what we'll look for first.
What sort of model is talking about? Never mind my money.
A Buccaneer.
Can you hear her? Can you hear her?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we can hear. We can hear.
Yeah, Buccaneer she's going for.
Buccaneer.
48.
Okay, I'm just going to add. Have I added my comment on there down at the bottom? I'm not sure if I have or not. I'm just scrolling down. Yes, so Go Squadron. I've put my email address on there for you, so just get in touch. Roo, what about yourself?
Well, I was thinking about the Buccaneer, but that's out the window.
What is this? I've got to ask. Buccaneer is the ugliest looking chuffing thing in the world ever. What
No,
on
the
earth?
gannet is the
You're,
ugliest
you're
thing
saying
in the
that
world.
over the gannet? Come on.
The gannet
Yes,
isn't
but-
ugly.
But this
It is-
Buccaneer,
No, No.
it's long, slender body,
Yes.
two sort of like oval tubes at the front, a sticky up, pointy nose. What on earth?
Oh,
No.
yes. Now you're talking, Mike. Can you say that again, but slower? It's a beautiful looking aircraft. I mean,
Yeah.
when it's
Do
on
you
full
think-
tilt about 60 foot off at top at sea, it's gorgeous. It's a
I
beautiful
just-
thing.
I used to
The
go
can't-
to
I
RAF
can't
couldn't
get
have
into it.
fulfilled their missions in Gulf War One without the Buccaneer.
No.
I just,
No.
I can't. I always say on my builds, on my post build videos, I have got to love the subject to want to build it in the first place. And the Buccaneer, I'm sorry, Roo, it's just not doing it for me.
Yeah, well,
For
fair
me.
dues. I mean, tornado's not my thing. Oh my God! Did I actually say that out loud? I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's also that's what's the beauty about the bloody club and the bloody
Yeah, it
thing.
is.
It's like everybody likes something different. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it is.
gannet is pure ugly. I
Yeah.
mean, that is an ugly bother. But
I used to go to-
I don't know. The summer of that year, that time of that era, that like space age shape of the Buccaneer, it's just got everything. It's a really cute aircraft.
I can remember going to air displays with my dad and another kid, Finningley, such like.
Yeah.
And he used to look when he took off Buccaneer. He used to go down the runway, and all he
Yeah.
did was stay at same height, but pull his wheels up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was,
Yeah, that's
and
what I
just
mean.
Just
And
create
it-
the defence.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've got
Brilliant.
right. I'm going to ask you a question. What? Because Derek brought his. What did Derek bring in today? B1,
B2
a B2 Spirit,
and that
and-
measures
and
me
we all-
262.
and we all know. We had a bit of a laugh and a joke about it, saying this is a multi-billion-dollar jet that could carry 2 bombs.
Yeah.
What armament, what theatre did the Buccaneer carry weapons in and for? Was it a bomber, a missile? What it?
Yeah.
Primarily a
Well,
bomber.
It
It
was
was a
multi-role, wasn't
nuclear
it?
bomber.
Anti-ship.
It was a nuclear bomber.
There you go.
But the Navy used it as anti-ship and ground
Yeah.
attack.
As well as the external stores bays on the wings on the pylons, it also had a bomb bay, which was the last RAF aircraft to actually have an internal bomb load, so to speak.
Used to rotate as well, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
Bombay.
Rotating
Yeah.
bomb bay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now then, hang on a minute, lads. There's
Come
another one that's got a rotating bomb bay that doesn't look like a bomber. And I'm trying to think, there's one at Doncaster. Is it a Devon or something like that? And it's in training colours.
Don't know. I've never been to Doncaster.
Doncaster's
Have you
got a
not,
lovely...
have you never been to Doncaster Air Museum, Mark?
No.
Oh, you're missing a treat, mate. You're missing a
Never
treat.
been. Never been.
I have. They've got my Aiden gun up there.
Got your what?
My Aiden gun.
All right then. Sorry, mate, but what's an Aiden gun?
It's the 30mm gun out of a Jaguar. It was my leaving gizzard from the Air Force, but then I realised that the barrel hadn't been cut, was still clean and solid.
Oh my God.
So if I'd have been caught with that, I'd have been doing 5 years.
Marky Mark, just obviously a quick one. You know I'm off this week, but Cars in Shop, if you want to come this way, and we will detour down to Doncaster Air Museum at the back end of the week, mate. Give me a shout and we'll sort something out.
It's worth a visit. It's well worth a visit, is that place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well worth a visit.
Sounds like a plan, mate. Thursday or Friday.
Happy days.
Mark, Tuesday
Yo.
when I finish work at 4, I'll pop round and I'll pick up them paint and square up with you that quid.
Yeah. Don't leave country. Right.
Yeah.
Let me
Cheers for
just have
getting
a
that,
look
Bruce.
here. I'm putting. Yeah, no drama, mate. No drama. Putting my host hat on. We've been going for 2 minutes and 10 2 hours. 2 hours.
2
And
hours.
10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Let's quickly. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up, right? But before we do, I'm going to go round the room. I'm going to start with Mr. Bridge. Thank you for joining us. Have you enjoyed the evening?
Thank you very much for the invite, and always have done.
You are more than welcome, sir. Mr. Liddle and Ange. Have we got Ange's head in the side there?
Still here. Still here.
Still here. Thanks for joining us. And have you enjoyed the conversation this evening?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks to Paul and Craig, sorry, because I have been listening and I have learned just by listening. But what I would like at the club, I'd love somebody to sit down and show me some of these weathering techniques.
Would you go
I really would. I'd love to. I'm not a YouTube fan. I've got to be honest. It's too far heavily edited for me. I'd like to sit down and even professionals fuck it up. I'd like to sit down with these two guys sometime and just learn some stuff, different stuff.
Maybe it's something that we could arrange, because once people see that that you're watching, they'll want in on it as well, won't they?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing. From time to time, we do get guys that will come, and we know it's a big ask, Paul, but to sit and say, right, I have painted this piece of armour, and I've Craig and Paul sat side by side with all of us watching and saying, right, these are the techniques that I'm going to use. Coming close, this is how I'm going to apply this powder. This is what I'm going to do. Paul and Craig, I am putting you on the spot. You fancy a bit of that?
I've said I'll do it before, haven't I? I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
Share the love.
No.
Yeah, I'll fetch my old Challenger in, and you can show me how to do stuff on it. I don't care what you do to it.
You see,
right?
Yeah,
Just as a test piece.
Just as a test piece.
We'll have a chat then, because obviously the more prep you get at it, where the easier it is to watch for people, innit?
Yeah.
It's just painted at the
It's just painted, mate. It's just, if you go over it with a damp cloth, you'll wipe all
crap off.
All crap off, and you end up with a painted tank.
Right. Because it starts with chipping, really. We can do stuff like that, but he'll not get. We'll sort some out. We'll definitely
sort some out. Sort some out.
We'll iron the creases.
Could you do it in quarters? So leave one quarter like naked as it is now, and then the other 3 quarters do something different on them.
Yeah.
So we can see the different effects on how different things are done on the same piece of.
Good shout.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you just need like a bit of cardboard with a square cut out, so you can look at it individually rather because
it'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Sounds
like a good idea.
Thank you very much. It's been very informative. Thank you tonight.
Rowan, Jean, over to you. Have you enjoyed your evening? Thank you for joining.
No problem. Enjoyed it as ever, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. So looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it tonight. Really enjoyed it.
Obviously, Craig, brand new to this. Paul, brand new to this. I've covered everybody apart from champion Paul Patton. Paul, we know it can be a scary experience for some, but you've been live on stage with your guitar, thrashing out a tune, so you were used to an audience. Have you enjoyed your evening with us this evening?
Yeah, very enjoyable. I've broken me live stream cherry, and yeah, good experience.
Say that again, but slower.
With feelings. Yeah,
definitely do it again if you'll have me.
Well, thank you to everyone. But I'm going back to club today. thank you for everybody that has joined me on the live stream. I have thoroughly enjoyed your company. I've learnt absolutely loads. You're all entertaining. It's been great reading all the comments that have come in. And thank you to every single person that has watched, that has commented, that has sent a thumbs up. It's really, really appreciated. Without an audience, it's absolutely pointless doing this. So double thanks up to everybody that's watched, commented, and thank you guys for joining me. Next club is in 2 weeks' time, which, looking at my calendar, will be Saturday the 19th. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday the 19th. Okay.
Football next Friday.
And
You
we'll be
wanting
back
to do
up.
some of that, something like that for next club, or sort it out next club?
We
We'll sort
can
it out
all
next club, mate, so
we can, yeah, sort it out for next club, mate.
For next club.
No, we'll chat about it at next club to get some kind. You know, we'll put the question out to everybody, Paul, and we'll say tell the guys what you're going to do, etc., and we'll get a bit of an audience together, mate.
Sweet. Sounds
Okay, so last few comments. I'm going to get an email. Yeah, absolutely, email me. I'll try and help if I can. Hobby time night, guys. Good night. And Go Squadron says goodbye, everybody. Guys, thank you ever so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Just for the newbies, that's Craig and Paul. Once I end the broadcast, just don't touch your phones, stay on. But I say it every time to new people. When I end the broadcast, people just sort of like go exit the room. But we do stay on for 2 minutes just to have a catch up at the end.
All right, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, no worries.
And we'll thanks to everybody that's watched, commented, etc., and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.